Hello, hello, hello. Oh my god. Do you see that? I don't know how it happened, but suddenly technology started to work. Ah, my mouth moves. Oh. Ooh. Oh. I'm not exactly sure the best way to, like... It could be a little... It could be a little bit, less sensitive, maybe? Is that better? Yeah, that's better. Hell yeah. Look, I don't claim to understand the inner workings of technology. I'm just Isaac Anzu, a chimera from the monster world. There's nothing in this world that I kind of ever understand. So, why start with technology? But that's the goal, right? Is to learn more things, learn about technology, learn the things that are happening in this human world. And today, we're going to explore the human world, but in German. Someday I want to do a Japanese one too. That would be a lot harder, I think, because I'm not. So, with the Japanese, it's like there are the 2000s Joyo kanji, which are the kanji that you see in the newspaper or on Wikipedia, the everyday kanji. And if you know all of them, then you can kind of piece together what certain words mean. If you don't know a kanji, though, there's not an easy way to infer what it means. Whereas with German, a lot of the words kind of sound like their English equivalent. So it's a little easier. A little easier to get to where you want to go. Just because, you know, you look at a word like, I don't know, film, right? And that's literally film in English, movie. Same thing. Oh yeah, let's see if the glasses still work. Oh yeah, now I'm talking with glasses. I didn't think that would be such a big deal, but it is. It's a super big deal. Wow. Why technology? Why do you torment me so? Maybe I'll go to try to multi-stream again, and it'll just work this time. What changed? I have no idea. I just restarted everything. Is that all it took? All right. Let's go to German Wikipedia. Wabam! Wait a minute. That's not right. This happened last time, didn't it? Yeah, it just takes like the first available browser window. I need to make sure that wabam, there we go. I need to make sure that I do this beforehand. Note to self. All right. German Wikipedia. Wikipedia, die freie Enzyklopädie. Enzyklopädie. Encyclopädie. Encyclopädie. The word for encyclopedia is pretty close. Hauptseite. Oh, okay. So Haupt is a good contraction or prefix to know. Haupt means main. So like Hauptstadt, main city, is capital. Oh, Blue is having some early morning zoomies. I feel so bad because our neighbors downstairs have already complained, and he just likes to run around all the time. Hauptsite, yes. The main site, which I'm guessing Hauptsite, homepage. Ah, nice. I forgot there's a specific word in English for that. All right. Let's start by reading some of these. In the Nachrichten. So nach is before. Excuse me. My cat was just on the table playing with a pen. Blue. Give me just a second. Sorry about that. Being a little punk right now. Can you hear him in the background? It's like every once in a while. Nachrichten. Nach is before. Richten. Right. Before right. To realign something. News. Intelligence. In the news. Okay, so Nachrichten is the news. But we know nach is before, so what's richten? Focusing. To focus, to adjust, to do, to make. Richten. Okay. Oh my gosh. This cat is wild right now. Nachrichten. So the previous focus is the news. Nachrichten. Bei die Verleihung des Deutschen Filmpreises. That would be probably German Film Awards. Makes sense. Haben die Tragic Comedy. Ich bin dein Mensch. Spielfilm von Maria Schrader aus dem Jahr 2021. How would you say 2021 in German? You'd say it's 2021. Und der Science-Fiction-Thriller Tides von Tim Belfom mit die vier gewonnenen Auszeichnungen the one thing you don't want to do is like kind of glaze over and just start reading without comprehending. It's easy to do in English. It's super easy to do in another language. Let's go back. What is Verleihung? Bei der Verleihung, maybe evening? Verleihung? Awarding, conference. Okay. By the awarding of the Deutsche Film Awards, Deutschland Film Awards, haben die Tragicomedy Ich bin dein Mensch I am your human. Von Maria Schrader. Pictured. Bild means picture. Und der Science-Fiction-Thriller Tides von Tim... Oh, he's a young person. Mit je 4 gewonnen. Won 4 accolades, awards. Auszeichnungen. Won 4 awards. Erfolgreich, successful. Yeah, it's not the German dictionary is not going to have every word because they can make words. Sten. Huh. Trapped, cropped, abgeschnitten, die mit je 4 gewonnen Auszeichnungen am erfolgreichsten abgeschnitten. Good German words. I don't think I understand the full sentence yet. It's part of the problem, the grammar. Putting together the grammar is hard. All right. Well, that was quite a brain workout. Let's go to something in a little bit easier. Kürzlich Verstobene. Recently, kürzlich. That's a pretty good one to know. Recently, kürzlich verstorben. Verstorbene. Verstorben. Der Verstorbene. The deceased. Ah, yes. They've got a little cross. Does that mean they're deceased? The youngest being 64. Deutsche Radsportstrainer. Radsport, extreme sports, rad sports. Nope. I forgot. Rad. So like the word for motorcycle is motorrad, and the word for bicycle is Fahrrad. So Radsport. That's a pretty good one. I should look for a Radsport place around here. I'm sure they have one. Schauspieler. Oh, remember that one from the other day? That's an actor. Pop singer. Swedish Xenologue. Xenologist. Wait a minute. I don't know this word in English. Google. The study of Chinese. Ah, right. I remember now. Zeno is like having to do with Chinese. And Komponist. US Amerikanische Komponist. Accompanist? Composer. Oh, hey, I'm a componist. Componist. Ans.
Komponist.
Yeah, see, this is the best website because it has all the different recordings. Uh, the Michigan Wolverines starten in 19 Sportarten. Sports? Schön already gewusst? Schön gewusst? Already know? Schön gewusst? Did you know? Did you already know? Are you already aware? Alright. Well, that's enough fun on the front page. We should look up Deutschland. I was typing Germany as if they call it Germany here. Deutschland, Wohlform des Staatennamen seit 1949. Bundesrepublik Deutschland. So, Wohlform, I think, is official. Wait, I copy pasted it. Wohlform is not a word? Full form? Wohlform, yes, full form. Full form. Yes, I forgot. So, voll is full, like a glass being full, and leer is empty, like a glass being empty. Staatenamens. That should be pretty easy to figure out. The state name, the full country name since 1949, Bundesrepublik Deutschland. Ist ein Bundesstaat. Bundesstaat. What's Bunde? Why is Bunde different than Bundesstaat? Bundesstaat. A bunch of states. Oh, it's a republic. It's a collection of states, like the U.S. in Mitteleuropa, Middle Europe. Pretty easy there. Besteht seit 1990 aus 16 Ländern, countries. It exists since 1990, created from 16 countries, und ist als freiheitlich-demokratische free democracy, I believe, und soziale Rechtsstaat verfasst. Socialist something. Verfasst. Drafted, written in Latin. Is this like a socialist constitution? Yes, a socialist Rechtsstaat. I can't say 1949. I have to remember. It's 1949. 1949. Or would they say 1900? They'd probably say 1949. 1949. Gegründete. I don't know that one. That looks like a verb. Yes. Adjective? Founded. Oh, okay. Gegründet. Founded. Grounded, but gegründet. Bundesrepublik Deutschland stellt die jüngste Ausprägung. The nice thing about German is characteristic. Ausprägung. You can find the nouns and start to piece together the overall meaning of the sentence because they're capitalized. So easy. Except if you don't say the rest of the sentence right, you'll sound like an Ausländer. Latest. Entstellt. Hoses. Represents. The 1949 founding of the Bundesrepublik Deutschland represents the latest. What was this word? Manifestation, I'm sure, in this context. Des deutschen Nationalstaats da Bundeshauptstadt und Regierungssitz ist Berlin. Yeah, Berlin. We should look at Berlin. Let's read some Berlin facts in German. Alright. Oh, look at the bear. Oh, the bear. Oh, the bear. Yeah, okay, so there's bear statues all over the place here. And then my wife and I were like, why? Why are there bear statues all over the place? Turns out, the bear's on the flag. Alright, the cat has finally settled down. Landesflagge, country flag. Landeswappen, country crest. Landeswappen. Can we get Swappen or Wappen? Crest, Wappen, Crest. Yeah. So with the combined words, you often put them into their plural form when you combine them. Crest. Wappen. Marlene and Hans are computers. Huh. Kind of sounds like a frog, huh? Huh. Wappen. I'm wappen to the beat. No, that was a terrible pun. I hide my face now. Wah. Amtssprach. Amtssprach. Sprache is language, and they speak Deutsch. Yes. What's Amts? Amts, main, Amts, official. Amts. How do I remember that? Amtssprache, official. Amts. Oh, that's a tough one. Amts. Amts.
Von Amts wegen.
Von Amts wegen. Amts. Kind of sounds like aunts. Like your mother's sister, aunt. Or aunt, maybe? Aunts. Ants are very official. They stay in order. They're very, follow the leader sort of insects. And Germany is a very orderly place as well. Or, that's the idea anyway. So Amts is official. Amts. I'll have to remember that. I'm sure that I'll find some official paperwork or something that has Amtspapier on it. Something like that. Alright. Staatsform. Ah, type of state, form of the state. Parlamentarische Republik. Again, I was talking about this earlier, but the words are pretty close to what they are in English, so it's actually not too hard to understand. Til sovrane til sovrane Gliedstaat. Gliedstaat? Is this like they're the sovereign state? Oh boy. Alright. Ooh, okay, alright. Sovereign state. Okay. And then Teal. Part of the sovereign state. Gliedstaat. Okay. Member state of the sovereign part of the Bundesstaats. Maybe? Not sure. Postil Postlei Zahlen. Ah, okay. This one's pretty easy to understand too. Post, like post office, Postlei Zahlen. Zahlen is number. So post number. And let's see. Yep. My post number is definitely in this range. Alright. Telephone Vorwahl. Ah, okay. So let me just make sure what I know what wall is. Wall is choice or option. Yes, okay, so telephone, the first three numbers that you put in on your telephone, the 4 is before, right? Telephone before choice. Luaz, good afternoon. Oh, good afternoon to you, wherever you are. I'm still very much in the morning. It is quite early, and nobody else is awake. Fortunately, I have my streaming set up all the way on the other side of the apartment from the bedroom, so my wife is still fast asleep. All right. Gesetzlicher Viertag. Viertag. Tag is day. What's vier? Vier. Celebration day. Ooh. Viertag. Holiday. All right. All right. Gesetzlicher. All right, they have an entry for it. Legal claim, legal holiday. Viertag. Yeah, all right. So legal. Gesetzlicher is legal. Gesetzlicher Viertag. Legal holiday is the 8th of March, maybe February, March, April. März. It would be pronounced März. I don't know the months, but here they are. January, February. What is that picture? Oh, it's a statue. Oh my gosh. I thought it was a face, a weird looking face with like two noses. I mean, I guess it is a weird face with two noses because it's two faces. März, April, Mai, Juni, Juli, Juli, August, September, October, November, December. It's been a while. Got new track coming soon? Yeah, I think I am gonna get back into music, doing music. Uh, it's the first week back that I'm able to like fully stream in like months though, so I wanted to do some, German stuff since I'm in Germany. Definitely want to get back into music though. Um, I've been thinking about doing another album, or maybe doing some parody music. 'Cause, I mean, apparently parody is like totally legal. Copyright law can't stop you from doing parodies. So I could absolutely do some parodies. And one of the things that they taught us in music school was that one of the best ways to learn how to do something is to try to recreate it, imitate it, right? So if I pick a song that I really like the sound of, and I try to recreate that sound, then I could, learn how to get to, be better at producing, but also like get to that sound in my own music. An album, can't wait. Yeah, should it be a concept album? Like a rock opera? I really liked doing the kind of like synth punk sort of stuff. I'm actually really interested in doing some like hyper pop sort of stuff, like really danceable, glitchy, loud sort of music. I just want to like melt people's faces off, right? Just absolutely destroy. Maybe that's not the best mentality going into creating like artistic music. Who says it has to be artistic? No one, that's who. Using a reference track is indeed a good way to improve. Yeah, it's just like artists who do that challenge where it's like, draw from memory, draw with your left hand, draw with your eyes closed, and then the last one is draw with a reference, and it is always like, oh, this looks like the rest of their art, so they always use a reference. And yeah, I think using references in visual art is like common practice. Even if you're talking about like, referencing for what the shape of the body is supposed to look like. But yeah, it's not as common, I think, in music, or maybe it is, and I've just been obstinately not doing it. All right, the KFZ Kennzeichen is the license plate. B. Die Liste aller Kennzeichen. Okay. So these two first letters in the license plate correspond to where the car was probably created. And indeed, I've seen B's everywhere. I actually noticed that. I was looking at cars and I was like, oh, the license plates start with B. For Berlin? Probably. All right. Gemeindeschlüssel. Luaz, do you do music? I think you said that you do. Community identification number. I don't know what that is. Brutoinlands product, BIP. Is this like the GDP? Milliarden. 100 und I don't know how to say 0.3. I don't know how to say a fraction. But BIP pro Kopf per person, per body, per head, I think. Look at that. Every single person in Berlin contributes 41,000 euros. So in Germany, the point is a comma and the comma is a period. So this is actually 41,967 and this is 153.3. Yes, sir, I do. Nice. What kind of music? I guess what genre? Recently I don't have that much time. Oh, yeah. I completely understand. Even though I currently have the opposite problem, I have totally been there. It's like it's hard to convince yourself that, you know, it's have you ever heard of like the 7 habits quadrants? Yeah. Stephen Covey's time management matrix. Yeah, so like art is like important but not urgent. And people tend to stick to the urgent columns, or they escape from the urgent columns by going into the not important or not urgent, like time wasters, right? Like little video games. But it's important to, you know, do the relationship building, planning, and recreation stuff, right? So I hope you find the time. I mean, art, I think, is super important. The bad thing is when you don't do art stuff for a while, your ability is slowly getting dull. It's true. It's true. However, I think there's a mentality that you can kind of go for, which has really helped me with my art and with streaming, is more to the effect of, you know, I'm writing music for me. I'm writing music because I want to learn about music and want to learn the sound of music and want to make music for my own satisfaction. And in that sense, it doesn't really matter how good my ability is, because I'm doing the process of making music. But I mean, of course, if you want to, like, you know, sell your music or show it off, then it's not going to be easy if you have a long break to get back into that level, for sure. But I don't think that losing ability is a reason to really stop. Back when I first came here, I like classical. Now I'm into blues stuff. Ooh, blues is one of those genres that, like, you know, seems very simple on the surface, but then you start digging into, like, you know, not like the microtonal aspect of the scales and the, like, variations on the form, and there's so much good stuff in blues. And blues harmonica players are just incredible musicians. I've tried to play harmonica multiple times, and it's just really, really difficult to not sound like you're a amateur just huffing into the thing. It's hard to actually make music on it. Let's see. Blues guitar is also super, super cool. What's his name? B.B. King. B.B. King is so good. And would you consider Stevie Ray Vaughan a blues guitarist? I mean, he plays blues, but maybe he's more of a rock. Because what do you consider, like, you know, hard blues? Rock, right? Early rock. The Rolling Stones was essentially like amplified blues. It's such a beautiful genre. It is. Yeah. The stuff that can come out of there is just so much soul. Population. Bevölkerung. You know, I haven't heard a lot of music in Germany that I haven't like recognized. They play a lot of English music, like at the grocery store, or in restaurants. It's almost exclusively been pop music in English, which is interesting. I wonder if local, like, German bands, like garage bands, get together and play English music, sing in English. It's probably not a bad way to learn the language, you know, learn the songs. It'd be nice if I knew some German music. Actually, we could look up some German music. I don't want to get in trouble though. I'll have to look up some German music. I think the problem with learning a language from music is that if other people know that artist, right, they end up being like, isn't that a line from the song? And then you're like, yes, in fact it is. But can you imagine like someone who comes over here from well, I say here, someone who comes to America from like a different country and they just know American music, and you are like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, what's going on? Or they're like, somehow many amazing song composers from Germany, something sketchy going on in there. Like Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, although Mozart was Austrian technically. Wagner, Berlioz was French. Yeah. It is a little sketchy, isn't it? It's actually, so it was part of a movement, you know, to promote the biggest parts of German history and then kind of impose that on the rest of the world. So a little nationalistic, a little sketchy. Not to say that Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, not to say that they aren't excellent composers. They are, 100%. Their fame is a little sketchy. But I think, is it possible? Is it possible to become famous without, you know, utilizing society to do so, right? Is it possible to be a celebrity without taking advantage of some part of society. Is it? Is that what I'm trying to do? I'm asking two deep philosophical questions. And I'm hardly reading any German Wikipedia. This is the population of Berlin. Did you know that? 3.5 million people. It's pretty wild. There's a lot of people here. I don't think about how many people there are until I leave my apartment, and then all of a sudden, people. It's not as dense as New York, though. It's got more room to grow, so I mean, like, the area I'm in is pretty populated, but the New York is like squished onto an island, so you literally like can't leave your apartment without tripping over people. Here, there's a little more room, and I think people take advantage of that. Move out into the quote-unquote suburbs. Yes, the whole metropolitan region, though, is 6 million people. Einwohner. One life. Einwohner, a living population, inhabitants. And then the whole region. The population. Einwohner. So what's the difference between Bevölkerung and Einwohner? Bevölkerung seems a little more official. Citizenry. Oh, now after you say it, maybe I can use traditional elements from my own country. Yeah, so I've thought about that as well. Like, I am now an American composer in Germany. I could make some music that combines German and American stuff. Musical elements. The problem is I don't really know too many German musical elements. Maybe it's America that has the weird musical elements. Although I could use German in my lyrics. I've thought about that too. So it's possible. I'm just not very good at German yet. I'll probably make it sound like I'm singing like a caveman. Geography. Geography. What is this? Geohack Berlin? Uh-oh. Uh-huh. Oh, that's pretty detailed. I think I know this area, or do I? I don't know. I know this area because this is like where Checkpoint Charlie is. What is this? Bing Maps, Google Maps. Yeah, so here's an interesting picture. Like, where Berlin is further north than everywhere in the United States. And I was from like the Midwest area, so it's like it's interesting. The latitude is a lot higher, but because there's more water, the temperature is a little bit more stable. So it's actually not that much different. Still the same range of temperatures, which is pretty interesting. If anything, it's a little cooler here, which I'm a big fan of. I love cool weather. I love winter and fall, best seasons. Geohack. I've never heard of it. Yes. The political parties, Politik. Yep. This is the new guy. Right? Mühle. Yeah, they just had a big election here. So they do many political parties, and then they have to form coalitions with the other parties in order to get a majority, which is an interesting way to do it. I think in essence, it's kind of already happening in the US with, subgroups of the political parties kind of coming out, like the alt-right and the progressive left. But it's much more official here. Cries in Indonesia. It's hot in here. Ugh. Yeah, I could never. Indonesia. I realize I'm on. Wait, that was horrible spelling of Indonesia. Indonesian. Yeah, this area. Yeah, that's way too close to the equator for me, bruh. I think so. Something's up with like this stretch of area, because Australia is super hot, Indonesia is super hot, and then like even summers in Japan are supposed to be like extremely, extremely hot. Yeah, get me away from the equator, please. I'm very much a cold weather kid. And I've thought about this too, like, not to get too political here, but there's seriously going to be like, people think like the climate crisis is going to be like, the seas drying up or massive hurricanes, or switching from hot to cold super fast, like in the day after tomorrow. The first thing that's going to happen in the climate crisis is going to be climate refugees. It's just going to get so hot, or whatever. It's going to get so hot or so extreme that people aren't going to be able to live in places anymore. And yeah, they're going to move. People move when they can't live somewhere. There's a certain threshold, right? And all these like, the US and a lot of European countries are like, we don't want refugees. It's like, you do realize that's going to be your entire that's going to be your entire job soon, is taking in refugees because the planet's dying. It's look at this. Here's Berlin, pretty far north, but if I were to become a EU citizen, I could go all the way up here where it's nice and cool, but it won't be nice and cool for that much longer, right? And then you've got all the climate refugees coming in through here, right? So this is going to be premium real estate, right? One of the key factors in making a financial investment, whether it's real estate or stock market or whatever, is you've got to speculate what's going to improve, as opposed to trying to grab onto something that's already improving. Now, Germany's a pretty nice place. I like it here. The climate is good. But I think the climate is going to get warmer. It's going to get more extreme, bigger highs and lows. The Gulf Stream, I think it's called, the air current that runs through here, isn't going to last forever. And that's a big stabilizing factor, right? So if I join the EU, then I could move up here. The problem is, I think it takes 8 years to gain German citizenship. Like, this is going to become amazingly expensive. So maybe the idea is, I buy a house now as a vacation house, and then EU citizenship, whoop, move right up here. I'm thinking way too far ahead. I should just, focus on reading Wikipedia in German. Conspiracy theory hat off. Yeah, it's the tigers. So there's the Tierpark Berlin. It's a zoo essentially, but it's essentially like an open zoo. It's a park. The Tierpark Berlin is eine der beiden zoologischen Gärten in Berlin. Eine der beiden. One of the two, right? One of the two ist eine der beiden zoologischen Gärten in Berlin. One of the two. Yeah. Apparently there's another one. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's this word that I've been seeing everywhere that I need to look up. Geöffnet. Open. Wide open. Okay, so it just means open? Alright. Then what's öffnet mean? Öffnet. Oh, opens. So geöffnet is the state of being open. Eröffnet is probably opened, right? Yeah, the past. Eröffnet. Eröffnet. Liegt im Berliner Oststil District. Ortsstil. Yeah, I'd rather back and learn those music theory stuff rather than think about that politics. Yeah, I mean, music theory I think is much more interesting. Yeah, we'll get back into music soon, I think. Maybe next week. I have to think about it. What I want to do. So I've also been streaming on Twitch to limited success, and it might be better to do the music creation side of things on Twitch and then do more focused streams where I like maybe learn a specific technique on YouTube. I don't know. Twitch has given me some technical troubles though, so I'm not exactly sold on it being the place for me to stream. I still like YouTube a lot better. There's a cemetery in the park. Here's a picture of the plan for the zoo. Can we zoom in? Eingang, entrance. Kasse is register. Bewaltung. Schloss. Castle. Palace. Interesting. Toiletten, Hirsche. Deer. Oh. Deer. Bisons. Sommergaststätte Tierkinderpark. Sommergaststätte Tierkinderpark. Affen. What's an affen? Affen. Monkeys. Affen. Monkey. Monkey. Eichhornchen. In 7 years of learning, I still don't know German. Well, that's okay. you don't have to like, master something. I was talking about this earlier with Luaz, but the idea of doing art as a leisure activity, as a way to calm yourself or, satisfy yourself or create emotions in yourself, right, is perfectly acceptable. And so too is learning a language. I'm also trying to learn Japanese, and Aihyun Shen. Shen is like little, right? Right? So squirrel. Aihyun Shen. Actually, I hate music theory, but man, that thing helps a lot. It can help. It certainly gives you a way to talk about music specifically and productively, right? You're not just saying like play this note and then play this note. You're saying like play a particular scale or a particular interval, right? And other musicians can understand you. It's an attempt at codifying the language of Western music. But I mean, it's not even like helpful if you get into different types of music, like Japanese music. A lot of traditional Japanese music doesn't use music theory because there's no correlation. Or classical Indian music, classical Indian music is like a whole crazy thing. It's super cool. Wasservogel, water birds. Bären are bears. Zitsche. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I'm also learning Japanese. And parakeets. They planned for parakeets. I bet llama is llama. Llama. I'm also learning Japanese, and it's mostly for fun, honestly. It's so I can like go read some Demon Slayer or ReZero in the original language, right? Schaffe und zeigen. Schaffe? Wait. Schaffe? Sheep. Zeigen. Exhibit. Sheep exhibit. Nice. Schweine. That's a pretty easy one. Swine. Schweine. Pig. Oh man. So one thing I've noticed in Germany is that every single sausage you buy, all the packaging doesn't just tell you like this is a sausage. It also says what part of the pig it comes from. And so I think there's got to be some like Esel, donkey, donkey. There's got to be some like subculture of like, oh, you think the this part of the pig is the best? Plebeian. I think this part of the pig is the best. What? You think that part of the pig is the best? You absolute moron. Factions of pig part lovers. Kinderspielplatz. Oh, that's an easy one. Children play place. Ponystall Reit und Fahren. You could ride the ponies. That's good. Right. I thought all sausages came from the bowel part of the pig. I think the casing does. The outside is traditionally intestine, but I think you can put whatever you want inside, and that's what the I'm pretty sure that's what the packaging is referring to. All right, it's time to go. My lunch break is almost over. Yeah. Well, thanks for stopping by. I'm probably going to wrap this up here. We ended up not doing a whole lot of reading Wikipedia, just chatting about music and art and the weather, which is cool. Take care. You too, man. Oh. See y'all next time. Look at this cool tiger. I'm pretty divided on my opinion about are zoos good. I think zoos are super good for conservation efforts. And I mean, when you want to conserve a species, getting people to be able to see it and, you know, connect with it, right, in a safe way is super important. But obviously, like, you know, most animals would probably prefer to be in the wild rather than in a zoo. Well, I don't know. There's a lot less danger in a zoo. There's a lot more free food. Maybe it's like a retirement home. Like, the zoo animals got the good life. But I'm sure that it goes against their instincts, right? You've definitely got this idea of animals being, you know, suited for certain things, right? There's like studies where, like, they take baby hamsters, right, who have never been outside and, like, don't know what birds are, right? But when they, like, move a shadow of a bird over the cage, they all run. It's kind of ridiculous. There's instinct there that's really, like, ingrained and weird. And I'm sure that being in a zoo is not especially nice for the animals, but I think it's important, especially like endangered species. Zoos are good when the owners invest into animal welfare. I doubt Burma did invest in its penguins. They were put in 40 degrees Celsius of heat. Holy smokes. Burma, is that a... I realize I'm still on German Wikipedia. Burma. Zoo? Burma Zoo? Burma Prestige. I don't know how to say this in German. I guess I could use my handy dandy dictionary. Zoo Tierpark. Tiergarten, Zoopark. Tierpark? Burma Tierpark? Yeah, that's awful. I don't understand how you could be a zoo owner and not invest into the animal welfare. I guess if you see your zoo as more of a amusement park, theme park attraction. But I mean, this is the same shit that makes me so mad about, like, oil industry companies, right? They know that their industry is dying. Of course they know. They have all the data, right? And yet they stick to, you know, the old ways, the most profitable means for them, instead of trying to innovate. And, like, high-level corporate life does something to you, right? You start to like lose track of seeing people as people and stuff, and you know, you just become entirely focused on profit, immediate profit. Like, Like, what did we make this week? What did we make this month? What did we make this year? Not thinking about the fact, like, you know, if you're a zoo and your animals die or suffer, then, you know, you're not going to have those animals forever. And people are not going to want to watch them, right? People are not going to want to come to your zoo. Or if you have a oil company and you know that oil's running out, right, and you're not investing in other products, what do you think is going to happen? But people get really attached to this idea of like, oh, this progress report, this annual shareholder profit loss report is the best evaluator of my progress, and thus I want to make that evaluator as good as possible, right? If you have a yearly report, you want to make that yearly report come out really nice, not thinking about the fact that, you know, the company, the world doesn't care about what time of year it is. It cares about, you know, the long-term trajectory of your company. And, you know, you can make a company that has a really good long-term plan, but the investment environment puts pressure on those annual reports. Like, you need a good annual report. And if you don't have a good annual report, then you don't get to have more investors. And so your company doesn't get to do its long-term plan, right? It's ridiculous. Sorry, this was supposed to be a nice, fun, relaxing German Wikipedia reading stream, and I'm going right back into my anti-capitalist conspiracy, whatever. I don't think it's a conspiracy, but I recognize that I'm spouting off a lot of things I can't prove. Anyway, I think this is a good spot to wrap things up. Yeah, so I talked a little bit about this with Luaz, but I am planning on getting back into music writing. Going to be trying to figure out a good direction, parody or making an album, concept album, maybe incorporating some language stuff. Like I've literally been learning German and Japanese, so maybe this is a good time to start using those. But we'll figure it out along the way. And for some reason, technology is working today. As you can see, my little mouth is moving. It's awesome. I figured it out. But yeah, don't expect the technology to keep working. That's my mantra. Anyway, thank you all for joining. It's been a good time talking and discussing German things and non-German things. But I will... Oh, Loxa, that's an interesting product. Are you planning on MIDI only or instruments? Yeah, so that's another thing. I am in an apartment now, and not in my old apartment. I could kind of get away with singing, but here in this apartment, it's a little bit less separated from the apartments around it. So my current plan is mostly MIDI. I might do a little bit of singing, but I've actually been thinking about looking into Vocaloids. I know there's some free Vocaloid software out there that I can use, and maybe that's something I would like to get into programming. You know, I don't consider myself a great singer, so maybe if I use Vocaloids, then I can make the music that I want to make. Oh, coming at it from every angle. I also have a few instruments here. I've got some ukuleles 2 ukuleles and a automaton, but I don't know about actually using those. I guess I could. I have this really nice mic setup now, which I need to adjust back into place. But yeah, I hope that I can get started on that soon. I think I will. It's been a while. I need to get back into music. But for now, I'm going to wrap the stream here. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Isaac Anzu. I hope you learned something today. I did. I learned the population of Berlin and a bunch of German words. Amt. Amt is a prefix meaning official. Until next time, my name's Isaac Anzu. I'll see you later.